This meeting is called to order. I am Mayor Beverly H. Burks, and this is the May 6th City Council meeting. I'll start off with roll call, starting with Vice Mayor Johnson,
Present.
Councilman Carroll,
Present.
Councilwoman Bell,
Present.
Councilwoman Hood,
Present.
Councilman Perkins,
Present.
and Councilwoman Adee.
Present.
And I'd recognize our city manager, Shaquia Miller Thornton. So are there any changes or updates to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll proceed with presentations and administrative business. Item A, which is an award presentation by the president of the Georgia chapter of American Planning Association, Kristen Westcott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm so happy to be here this evening. My name is Kristen Westcott. I'm the Georgia chapter president of the American Planning Association. In my day job, I'm actually a truck and transportation manager in Sandy Springs, but I'm on my second year as president. And so we are very honored to be here with you today to recognize one of your plans. Georgia Planning Association supports efforts to build vibrant communities and advocate for sound community planning through Georgia. Annually, we host an awards program that celebrates and promotes examples of outstanding people and projects throughout the state. In 2024, GPA Awards Committee reciprocated evaluations with the North Carolina chapter of the American Planning Association to review each other's awards nominees. Our chapter received over 31 nominations across 7 categories. In addition to Clarkston, 5 additional communities or planning programs were recognized in 2024. Customarily, we present our awards at our fall conference. However, our fall conference in 2024 was scheduled to be in Augusta. And unfortunately, a week before that happened, Hurricane Helene came through and devastated Augusta, so we decided we would forgo that meeting. But tonight, we are recognizing the city of Clarkston for not 1, but 2 planning awards for the Clarkston Greenway Feasibility LCI study. And the 2 awards are for Outstanding Planning Process and Outstanding Public Involvement. The Outstanding Public Planning Process Award honors the most comprehensive and holistic overall planning process. This includes the comprehensiveness of technical and data analysis, stakeholder and community outreach, documentation and deliverables, and positioning for implementation. The award for Outstanding Public Involvement emphasizes successful efforts to engage the public, as well as programs to raise the overall level of understanding of planning, economic development, environmental or integrated issues. And evaluation criteria include dedicated effort to solicit public participation, demonstration of equity, use of technology, and demonstration of collaboration and partnerships. Review notes from our North Carolina reviewers noted that the feasibility study exhibited comprehensive data analysis, and the final document highlights emphasis on public engagement and demonstrates the effective level of communication employed to both educate and the public, as well as illustrate how public input can shape the process. Regarding the specifically for public outreach conducted for the plan, reviewers noted the plan worked well with trusted community leaders and served an extremely vulnerable population. In my review of the executive summary just the other day, I noticed that you had translated the executive summary to over 10 languages, which really speaks to the vibrancy and the depth of planning that was done for this study. So with that, congratulations to the City of Clarkston community, city staff, and project partners and team members who brought this Clarkston Greenway feasibility study to fruition. I'd like to recognize the Atlanta Regional Commission, which helped provide financial support through the LCI program. And Kristen Allen is here with ARC this evening. In addition, the consulting team led by Perkins and Will with project manager Sarah McCauley and Ed Cadell from Sycamore Consulting, who was the public engagement lead. So most importantly, representing Georgia Planning Association, we look forward to seeing you implement the plan. We never want a plan to sit on the shelf. So we can't wait to come and walk and stroll along the Greenway in the future, because that will make a great community for you and across the region. So congratulations.
All right. Thank you. Yes, and we definitely want to thank you, and we'll all come down and do a group shot. Let's get tired if we can. All right, I'm gonna big smile, guys. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you again, and thank you for all the staff and all the hard work that came into this recognition. We'll move on to 3B, which is Employee of the Month recognition, April 2025, and that would be Dr. Baker to do it.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here to present the Employee of the Month for April 2025. This employee consistently greets every visitor warmly and maintains professionalism, even during difficult transactions or interactions. No matter how unpleasant the situation may become, this employee refuses to respond in kind and does their best to ensure that no one leaves without being assisted. One specific example involved a business owner who came in seeking assistance with her license and permit. The owner had experienced multiple delays due to various issues and ultimately discovered that her business name included a service that she did not authorize to provide. As a result, she could not proceed with the licensing process until she revised the business name through the Secretary of State's office. This employee recognized and responded with empathy and reassurance, assuring the business owner that once the updated documentation was available, it would be promptly directed to the appropriate department. The compassion and calm disposition shown by this employee was gracious to the business owner. I present to you the Employee of the Month for April 2025, Ms. June Davis, Administrative Assistant, City Clerk's Office.
Your face.
Yay!
Come forward, June.
She really has no clue.
All right.
And she also gets a $50 gift card.
Okay, everybody, we'll go back down.
Don't have any more.
That's it, right?
It's a lot of exercise. A lot of exercise today.
Make sure everybody gets in.
Yeah, definitely good exercise.
Okay, I think that's the last one that's coming down. So we'll move on to 3C, which is to approve the following meeting minutes for 1/2025 City Council meeting and 2/4/2025 City Council work sessions. I'll take a motion at this time.
I move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of the Clarkston City Council on April 1st, 2025, and the minutes for the work session on April 29th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I think Vice Mayor got it. Okay, thank you, Councilman Carroll. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes for the regular city council meeting for 1/2025 and the city council work session for 4/29/2025. Is there any discussion? Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed, and we'll move into reports. And with our reports, we'll have our Public Works, Mr. Marcus.
Good evening, everyone. Our sanitation.
Now I need
digest-
you to talk in the microphone.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Everybody has to hear it.
Our sanitation digest has been sent to DeKalb County, which is going to be updated for the 2025 tax digest for sanitation. We entered an agreement with Goat Reynolds at 40 Oaks. We have the goats in place, removing invasive growth, which is effective. It's no chemical. It's natural. Been having a lot of the community down there, spectators looking, watching. So that's been a thrill. The stormwater digest was sent to the tax commissioner to be sent tomorrow as well. And we're reviewing the stormwater tax fee. So we're going to be having dates that's going to be determined at a later date, public involvement, so that everyone's aware of the change. And that's all I have.
Okay. I want to make sure you guys are the ambassadors for keeping this city clean. And just want to say thank you for all the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For sure. For sure.
We'll move into B, which is the city manager's report. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we are, Mayor and Council, we are continuing to make progress in the upcoming move to 736 Park North Boulevard. We are, this past week, we have been working on the lighting and information technology systems in the space. As you all know, the city council has been presented with a request for $23,000 for fiscal year 2025 general fund allocation for the security system equipment. Once that is approved, we'll be moving forward with that installation. At present, the city offices are set to establish occupancy within the space by the end of May 2025. We are so excited. Every employee is so excited about the move. Applications and reporting, the required April 30th, 2025 report to the Federal Treasury has been submitted as of April 29th for American Rescue Plan Act funding. About $648,000 in expenditures were reported for this reporting cycle, which was April 2024 through March of 2025. Millage rate consideration for fiscal year 2025. The city clerk and I have attended several virtual sessions with David Butler and other representatives of the tax commissioner's office. So we, on last Friday, we received the city's preliminary digest. So we are working through the clerk's office and the finance office and my office to determine what the millage rate scenario needs to look like based on the current year's budget expectations. We will be presenting to the council a tentative schedule for adoption of the millage rate to include public hearings. Administration and operations. Our one-on-one departmental meetings continue on a regular basis, 2-week cadence beginning April 1st, 2025, and are followed by a collective executive team meeting on the 3rd week. Departments continue to present to me their initiatives and goals for not only this year, but the coming budget cycle. And we'll continue to work through those and to determine how we can best improve our processes and operations to service the public. Previous events, the mayor, council, and the staff retreat was held on Friday, Saturday, April 25th and 26th. We have facilitators from the city of Albany and from Georgia Municipal Association. I personally want to thank the mayor and council for all of you all's support and attentiveness, how you presented clearly your initiatives for this cycle and for the coming years. It is so important that we receive, your plan objectives in a clear and concise manner so that we can have a better opportunity to implement those things in operations. So it was quite a productive time, and we definitely appreciated that time together. Departments, our Human Resources and Risk Management Department reports new hires. We have Ms. Cynthia Hammond. She is our Finance Director. I just want to give a little bit about Ms. Hammond. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting from Payne College and a Master of Science in Management from Southern Wesleyan University. She has more than 25 years of experience in the accounting field, working primarily in not-for-profit, local, and state government. So we are excited to have her on board. Believe me, we have put her skills to the test in the last 3 weeks. We also have a new police officer. His name is William Reese Williams. He brings over 24 years of dedicated service in law enforcement. His career began in 1997 with the Doraville Police Department, where he started as a dispatcher and a jailer. After graduating from the police academy, he transitioned to the operations division, serving in various roles, including patrol officer, field training officer, DUI task force member, and traffic unit officer. So he brings to our agency a lot of experience in the law enforcement field, and we are glad to have him on board as well. We also have within the Park and Rec Department, Ms. Marla Hale. She previously serviced us from the aquatics, in the aquatics department. So she manages pool services and those types of things at Milam. Yay. So we have municipal court administration has started to meet with new case management case management systems providers. Our current contract with Tyler expires December 2025. So as we work toward identifying those online payment platforms and a new financial software system, we're also working through our case management systems and other reporting systems within our other departments as well, trying to make sure that we are able to integrate those systems across platforms. Communications, the I-285 Express Lanes Transit meeting will be held on May 8th. MARTA will host a public open house on Wednesday, May 8th at 5:30 at the Clarkston Community Center to present the final recommendations for the I-285 Express Lanes Transit Study. Business Resources 101 will be held on May 13th. Decide the Cab, in collaboration with the City of Clarkston and the Better Business Bureau, invites local entrepreneurs, business owners, and aspiring leaders to attend a Business Resources 101 on Tuesday, May 13th. Additionally, we have posted our RFP for the Safe Streets for All project plan. The plan is to identify existing conditions and historical trends to provide a baseline of crashes involving fatalities and serious injuries, including an analysis of locations where there are crashes and the severity of crashes, as well as contributing factors and crash types by relevant road users. We expect the awarded consultant to develop the plan document to work in coordination with the city and steering committees and other related agencies, to include the Department of Transportation, Atlanta Regional Commission, and DeKalb County. The consultant will be expected to provide data collection, analysis, metrics, and public involvement that will ultimately lead to a plan that we can implement with the hopes of reducing accidents and injuries in that corridor. Proposed opening is scheduled for May 28th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. The Greenway Trail Phase 1 design RFP is to be advertised next week at Smith Rogers Case Drive. Milling and resurfacing is to begin mid-week next week. In equity and community empowerment, the DE&I department is continuing to work with my office to redefine the role and the title of the DE&I officer to be more in line with public need and for services. All right, I think that is all, and I am still here. Yay.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Give her a round of applause. And I'd ask our new people, if you're here, to come just stand up and so everyone can know who you are.
All right.
All right. All right. Williams. All right.
Okay. So we'll move to the city attorney.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm sorry that I was out of town for your retreat. It sounds like that was really productive. Okay, I actually do have a report for you tonight. I have a quick update and then a little bit more substantive report. Quick update is that DeKalb County Housing Authority approved the intergovernmental agreement that you all approved. And so that'll be in place for the next 15 years. And the other item I wanted to address is a brand new state law, HB 92. So this was the General Assembly's update or cleanup, or you could use, less positive terms if you wanted, for our law the year before about the floating homestead exemption. So, this law was just signed by the governor like 3 weeks ago, but it's already in effect. And it has given an extremely tight schedule for what it refers to as establishing an estimated rollback rate. So we've had the rollback rate as a concept in Georgia law of taxation for, I think, going back to the 90s. I think that was a Roy Barnes thing. And what it operates under the premise, the old one operates under the premise that when property values go up, that you can do a mathematical calculation of the amount that you would lower the millage rate so that the government would receive the same amount of revenues. And that's called the rollback rate, or now the traditional rollback rate. Of course, that doesn't account for increased cost of operating a government. If you just had the same revenue every year, you would quickly have a big problem. But that's not the point. The estimated rollback rate is not very clearly defined. And it is a starting point. You get the estimated tax digest for your jurisdiction, which we received from the DeKalb County on Friday of last week. So what if we are to publish an estimated rollback rate, we would need to give that information to the tax commissioner by Monday. So essentially you have exactly 1 week to do this. Here's what it does. It doesn't change anything about how much anyone is taxed or really anything other than if it is participated in by a taxing authority, then there will be a statement on 2 items that the tax commissioner sends out. First, the notice of assessment that'll be coming out this spring, and then later the actual tax bill that you get in the late summer or early fall. If a government opts into that, then the first notice will say, City of Clarkston has estimated the rollback millage rate to be X. And then if you set a millage rate that is any greater than that, the tax bill will have a statement that says City of Clarkston did not roll back your millage rate. If the city doesn't do that, then the tax bill and notice of assessment will look the same as they always have. It'll say, here's what your property's value was assessed at last year. Here's what your property's value is assessed at this year. Here's the millage rate each local taxing authority imposed last year. So here's how much more in taxes you'll owe if that is the millage rate again. And then, of course, on the tax bill, they'll have the actual millage rate and tell you how much you owe. So, given the very short time frame for coming up with an estimated millage rate and the ambiguity in the state law for estimating the rollback rate, there were a lot of questions about this from local governments. I reached out to GMA and I reviewed some guidance that ACCG and GMA had published. And what that guidance stated is what I just said, that each taxing authority can either publish this estimated rollback rate or not. Now, in the law, in one section, it says that each government shall do this. In another section, it says if it was done, then this is what will be on the tax bill. So those are a little bit inconsistent. GMA has interpreted it to mean that it's an option. I think that is a reasonable interpretation, and especially given what I've said about the timeline and the uncertainty, it's hard to blame any government for not wanting to rush this estimate, publish it, and then basically be at risk of putting out bad information because of a rush. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because this didn't even come out we didn't get the data from the tax commissioner's office until like the end of the day Friday. There was no opportunity to talk about this at the work session. I know the city manager's been diving in and looking at it, but there's just been no time. So here we are. If you want to adopt an estimated rollback rate, you'll need to call a special meeting for later this week. If you do not do that, according to the guidance of GMA and ACCG, your tax notice of assessment and tax bill will just look like they always have. And that concludes my report unless anyone has any questions.
I think, city manager, is that something in terms of being able to do what we need to do? I'll take guidance from you on this.
I will say that based on what the attorney has stated and what we've read also and what we've heard is that the law, both House Bill 581 and House Bill 92 are just so convoluted and there really isn't strict guidance within the law about what we do, when, where, and how. We had a conversation with the tax commissioner's office just today, and they are reluctant to give guidance, right? So it's really on us to determine, to decipher, right, and to interpret the language and to determine our course. So I will say that the 2-day turnaround time on getting an estimated rollback that's hard, right? First of all, we are presented with a preliminary digest, which is not the certified digest, which typically by the time we get a certified digest from the state, it is not the same as a preliminary digest, right? So I have presented to you just some very preliminary calculations. And we have to remember too that although the legislation is only really paying attention to the estimated rollback, we also have to consider budget expectation, what we have budgeted for 2025, right? And so based on just preliminary calculations, the current mill rate as adopted last year, 13.89, and even the rollback rate that has been calculated based on the state's version of what's called PT 32.1. Neither one of those rates will give us the budget expectation that we set in December for 2025. So with all those things considered, if the city attorney has interpreted that we will be okay if we don't publish this estimated rollback rate, then I would say that we do not. We should not.
Council, do you have any questions?
I agree. It makes sense to stick with the status quo rather than rushing into something.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right.
All right, thank
Thank you both for your reports. We'll now move into our council remarks, but before we start, I just want to take a personal privilege and say one of ours passed away, Roberta Malavinda. And so it's with a heavy heart. If you know anything about Roberta, she loved our children. And she had the CDF Foundation. And so her funeral will be the 8th at 1:00. Just make sure to keep her and the family in your prayers, because she did a lot for the kids here. So I'll move into our council remarks, starting with Vice Mayor Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I had the pleasure of attending the street dedication for the unveiling of the Patricia Davis Drive. And I see the community came out. Thank you for allowing me an opportunity to assist you guys with this street renaming and dedication. I also attended the Board of Education's Indian Creek to Smoke Rise Elementary School information session at the Clarkston Community Center. They gave a lot of valuable information on why our babies are being transferred from Indian Creek to Smoke Rise for the next 2 to 3 years. I also attended the National Day of Prayer at the Clarkston First Baptist. I had the privilege of actually hearing our city manager pray for the city, the economy, the government, politics, just everything. And that's what we did that night. Every member of that, every clergy in that church had a special prayer, and it meant a lot because we need it right now. And I also attended the council retreat. It was very informative and uplifting. And on Saturday, I think most of us attended the ribbon cutting at the new Mosaic Healthcare Center. And we had the pleasure of seeing a lot of our commissioners and our CEO. It was really a nice get together, and it had a purpose. So congratulations to Mosaic Healthcare Center. Oh, and of course we had a food drive. Oh, it was epic. No, I'm joking, but yes, we had a food drive. It was very good. It didn't take as long as it did the first time because all hands were on deck. We had everybody had a special part in this food drive. I think we were out of there in about an hour, hour and 10 minutes, and it was really good. And we will have on our website the upcoming food drives, and we're still working to get this funding for future years to come because our funding will end this year. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Carroll.
So I'll just be brief. I attended the council retreat April 25th to 26th. It was a very productive meeting because I think there's a lot of consensus in the council on issues that we want to address in the upcoming year. There were a lot of different topics discussed, but I think one big thing that we talked about is just making all the departments more efficient in the way that they can serve our residents. And also, I think the council wants to address housing. I think pretty much every council member suggested that. So those are two things, at least. There are others there's consensus on. So I look forward to working with the council and the staff on those issues coming up.
Councilwoman Bell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I attended the National Urban League of Greater Atlanta Young Professionals panel, where I was with Representative Eric Bell that represented Clayton County, Atlanta City Council member Antonio Lewis. I'm at the Rice Center, and I got to represent DeKalb County, where we discussed viability, transportation, and affordability. And I was able to share some of our actions in the city of Clarkston to tackle those issues. I used my professional development from last year because the trip was postponed to attend a delegation, well, to be a part of a delegation where we studied circular economies in Denmark, Sweden, and Amsterdam last week. And so we focus on a human-centered approach to governance that improves safety, housing options, health risk factors, and child well-being index through sustainability and renewable energy sources and solutions. Now, mind you, Denmark and Sweden are a utopia, and there are some challenges there, but there were lots of little tidbits. And of course, as y'all know me, I bring a lot of things back. And so we have lots of work to do. I learned a lot about concepts and projects at the intersection of infrastructure, innovation, and also sustainability. And quite frankly, it challenged my thought process around reusable energy, retrofitting, and all the efforts to thinking about waste and energy to achieve truly circular economy that minimizes waste and pollution, but uses natural resources that are regenerated, reused, recycled, and promote economic opportunities. I also attended the council retreat, and I was accepted into the Local Progress's community responders cohort, which I'll attend next week to learn about various models to adopt here in Clarkston. And today, so while I was on that trip in Denmark, I got the best email ever from some second graders at Indian Creek. And today I got to meet them and talk to them because they sent me an email and said, hey, Councilwoman Bell, these are all the things that I want to see change in the city as it relates to parks. They even want 5-story housing, but they want to make sure that it's affordable. And so I represent the council today, and these are all the sweet letters that they gave me. And our city manager, Thank you for last minute moving on that with me. Came and answered all the great questions. And everybody thought she was a Barbie doll. And then our communication director, Ratoja, was there. She is phenomenal with kids and like getting them to express themselves. So it was a joyous occasion. And then I just want to say shout out to Richard, as well as code enforcement, on all of the things moving forward with the community redevelopment initiative that we worked on as a collective, and like executing and reviewing all of the reports so that we can keep our city safe and also reduce a lot of the blight. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Perkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I attended a GMA ethics training on April 4th, and then also the GMA District 3 meeting where we got updates on things going on at the state and just other issues facing cities on April 24th. And then I also attended the Mosaic ribbon cutting on May 3rd. So it's exciting to see, health access is something that is always an issue in our community. And so it's exciting to see just one more, not a new face, but sort of the remake of an old face that's put a lot of work in the community, getting some new, a new building and a new location central to the community. So I'm excited about that. I also, surprise, surprise, attended the council retreat and is really encouraged by the conversations. Again, thank you to our city manager, to all of you on our staff who put a ton of work into your presentations and thinking through where you want to head, where we've been over the last year. And I'm excited to work with everyone on the next steps that we came up with.
Councilwoman Hood.
Yes, thank you. We've almost all of us spoken about the retreat, so I won't go over that, but I just want to say I think it's the best one that I have been to. And thank you to our city manager and staff for doing an exceptional job. I went to the Refuge Coffee event, which was on Saturday, the 26th. There is a project that has to do with the Stone Mountain Bike Trail, and much of that trail comes through Clarkston. They had a booth there where they were providing information about it, and they're going to be continuing to hold outreach events and getting additional information about how the trail affects our city. And then finally, I went to the Tots Town Hall that the mayor has every quarter. And again, it was just a fabulous event. You would think it would be a little crazy with all those little children, but they pay attention, they are interested, they are eager. And if you ever worry about the future of our country, come to one of those events and you'll see that these young kids are our future, and it's going to be a good future.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Adi.
Thank you. On April 4th, I attended the Afghani celebration, and they were celebrating the end of Ramadan, and it was a big holiday. It was really well organized, and I met a lot of people, people that I knew before. And April 5th, I volunteered at the food distribution, and I helped to deliver food boxes to the seniors who could not come in person at the food distribution center. On April 11th, I attended at Olive Institute. They were celebrating the Arab American Month. And April 13th, I attended a meeting with a project Engage with Muslim leaders and others as well. That was great. And April 15th, I attended the street renaming of Smith Street, the first African American councilwoman in the city of Clarkston, and that was great. April 25th and 26th, like all of us, I attended the city council retreat. It was my first time, and I really enjoyed being there. It was so interesting, and I want to say thank you to all those who organized it and attended there. Thank you for my first time. And April 28th, I attended early learning event with kids with the mayor. And also we had like kids from all different countries originally. And it was so interesting for me to read a book in different language that I speak. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we'll just do the mayor's remarks. I also, I guess, April attended the Afghani Alliance Iftar celebration. I did the food drive. I also attended the Board of Education's meeting to discuss the transition of our children from Idlewood School to Smoke Rise, right? And then we had the Alif Institute's program. If you're familiar with them, they are the nonprofit that has the mural on the Clarkston Library. I attended on the 10th, the CEO's Mayor's Retreat, where all the mayors within DeKalb County were represented, and we are on our move as being one DeKalb working with the CEO. So that was a great event. The 15th, participated with the street dedication for Pat Davis, and that was a wonderful opportunity. And thank you to the family for allowing us to honor her in that way. I also attended the African American Mayors Association's conference in Washington, D.C., where I'm now a part of the Housing Committee for that subgroup within it, as well as focusing on how we can address public safety and other issues that face many of our cities that are led by African Americans. I attended the 5th Annual Black Excellence Award, where I was a presenter, and I had the honor of recognizing Doris from Amani Women's Center. She won the award, as well as Gloria Kilako received the Lifetime Achievement Award at that same event. I attended the the council retreat, and again, thank you, staff, for doing an incredible job. We are happy to see how well we gelled together and the time that you took to ensure that we could move forward with the business of the city. So thank you very much for that. I also attended the Refuge Coffee Spring Market, just to make sure in terms of showing that support. The 28th, we did have the Tots Town Hall. So if you're not familiar, what I started doing was every quarter, I work with our Early Learning Center, and that was one of the things that Roberta was a part of. She actually helped us to get a grant. So that whole program is not funded through the city. We made sure in terms of grant money to make sure that we had this opportunity. So we take our kids from the Early Learning Center and we explore democracy. We teach them about gratitude. We ensure that they have a sense of community. And so this one was Small World, Big Heart, where we gave them a chance to be explorers and learn about the 7 continents. And so they had the opportunity to learn about all the continents and even do a little line dance about that and everything, right? So, but it's, as Councilwoman Hood said, it's a chance to know that our future leaders are there. And I was grateful for everyone who helped out with that. I also attended the House ATL, where they had their luncheon awards. So making sure in terms of our presence there. I am also the DeKalb Municipal Association policy chair. So we conducted our meeting with the other mayors from DeKalb County. And part of that was for us to start this conversation about annexation, right? What does this look like? And so we are taking our lead from the CEO, who wants to make sure any type of changes or updates that we make, we do it in unison in terms of making sure that we're all on the same page of how we're going to manage and take care of all of DeKalb County. So we're doing follow-up with that. I also attended the District 3 meeting at GMA, where we had a lot of good information and a lot of good networking with members of the District 3 area. And then I attended the mosaic ribbon cutting and was very happy to not only see the name change, but to also know that we have a place where people who don't have insurance have a place to be able to be seen. And so that's a attitude of gratitude that I'm grateful that we have. And then I also attended the North Fulton alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, where they had a panel discussion on people who were interested in being candidates, and I was part of the panel. So that concludes my report. And then the only other thing I had is I was doing some stuff with GMA, and they have their Georgia City Solutions Empowering the Future Through Literacy, and guess who's in there? Got me. So yeah, we're very excited. I want to thank all of our council people for not what they do just as far as the retreat, but how they make sure in terms of outside information and collaboration, and making sure. And to that point, we're going to have a housing summit on the 22nd at the Clarkston Community Center. And it's at 6:30. And then we're going to have, as far as an art exhibit at 5:30, right?
Potential.
Potentially. But overall, it's 6:30. We're going to have the housing summit. And why is that important? Because we want your input. And so we want to hear that as we're making the plans for the comprehensive plan, the LCI, so you can see how we are strategically planning the city. And we need your input and your involvement to do this well, okay? All right, everyone. So we'll move now into public comments, where any member of the public may address the council during the time allotted for public comment. Each attendee will be allowed 3 minutes for comments at the discretion of the presiding officer. The public comment period will be limited to 40 minutes and is not a time for dialogue. If your public comment contains a series of questions, please submit those to the city clerk in writing. This will facilitate follow-up by the council or staff. The city council desires to allow an opportunity for public comment, but however, the business of the city must proceed in an orderly, timely manner. Clerk Mitchell, who do we have?
Pastor Adams.
Okay. All right, Pastor Adams.
Yeah, thank you. Come on. Isn't that, don't get scared. I ain't here to be arrogant and try to scare them. So we just have a concern, and that's all. We just need to know who we need to direct our concern to. Our church is a growing church. We have problems with parking, and with that in mind, Sunday, I think it was just the last straw that we just can't take any more of it. On Bond Street, there's an 8-wheeler tractor trailer. 18, whatever it is. All right. It's blocking the street. It's blocking our driveway. We can't park there. And it's just a nuisance. If you allow me, his name is, will you allow me to do it?
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens of Clarkston. My name is Deborah Reese, and I've been a member of Christ Community for 25 years. And just as the pastor was just saying, we're having a problem with a tractor trailer that parks on Bond Street. When we try to come out our driveway, it's dangerous because we have to sort of pull out to be able to turn to the right. And we can see to the left, we can see cars coming up Bond, but if we're trying to go out our driveway, for instance, if we were going to the post office or the plaza, we can't see, and that's dangerous. And I personally have been almost hit 3 times. And it's a nuisance. It's dangerous, and something needs to be done. This past Sunday, our church bus couldn't park in the spot where they usually park because that tractor trailer block that particular spot. And I just wish something could be done about it, because I'm not the only one that uses that back parking lot. A lot of us use it when we're leaving the church. So anything that you all could do would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for bringing your concerns. So we'll direct it to our city manager to follow up with you in terms of what procedure you need in terms of if you see the truck and what to do from there.
Hi, to the mayor and the council.
Can you state your name, please?
My name is Edward Schaefer, member of Christ Community. My concern is the safety of the issue. Truck is blocking businesses, the view of public being able to see something, say something. So it's a situation that we've called other authorities and haven't got the necessary response. So it's a safety situation, and you know the atmosphere that goes on Vaughn Street. So we're just bringing it because we don't want it to be a situation where it's too late or we didn't do this or we didn't do that. We just need to get it done.
Thank you.
Okay, I do need to probably talk with city manager, whoever in charge. We still have that dumpster, and that's been about old as me and you together. Amen.
Amen.
It's been the whole situation that we need to try to take care of. I see where they have dug out for that, but we need to know the completion. We need to know a little something about that.
Okay.
If y'all
And-
can help us out, we appreciate it.
All right, and you can have that double conversation with the city manager.
Okay, and congratulations to you. All right.
All right, thank you, and thank you, church, for letting us know your concerns. Who else did we have, Clerk Mitchell?
Martha Brown.
Martha Brown. I just wanted to say I'm glad to be here. I appreciate everybody. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate everybody as always. I live in the Clemsold neighborhood in the back of the neighborhood, and I was there for the dedication of my friend and the family of Patricia Davis Drive, and that was a really beautiful experience, and it was awesome. It was really nice. Pat was a friend of mine and was very welcoming when I first moved into that neighborhood 16 years ago. So really happy that happened. I'm here really to just acknowledge, notice, and appreciate, because I like to do that. It's really important. I'm an uplifter, not a downshifter. When I really have complex things to talk about, I go to people individually and I address it that way. I want to thank fully the Public Works Department, who always is there and always helping out. And to be perfectly honest, I started thinking about being where I'm located. I feel like the Public Works Department always supports me. And I feel like after all these years of living in Clarkson, if it wasn't for Public Works members, I feel like they're part of my community, and we work synergistically together and help each other. We keep each other in the loop on things, and it's pretty awesome. And I really appreciate Marcus and the team. I have been over. I've saw the goats. It's great. They're doing a good job over there, so it's amazing. I also want to say thank you to the chief. She helped me out with something recently really quickly. I met with YT, who was showing an interest and concern of some of the things that I brought up last time, so I appreciate that. I'm hustling it. I want to let you know that turtles are coming out of hibernation, and there was a sighting of an amazing, big, beautiful snapping turtle. It was the size of a microwave. It was awesome. I happened to catch it. She was crawling into the marshland. So it's a win. It's a win that we did that. There also was an amazing review about Friendship Forest on Google Maps. I screenshot it, and I'm pretty much paraphrasing it. But the woman has done photo shoots in there. She appreciates the hard work everyone does in there and how clean it is. She talked about how safe it was. She realized it's connected to a lot of residential communities. And the whole time she was there, she felt like it was really user friendly. It was peaceful, and it was dog friendly with dogs on a leash. People really enjoying it. And it was great. I have it on a screenshot if anyone wants to see it. I also want to say that I was really appreciative of an auto mechanic shop who knows, acknowledges, appreciates me. And they gave me a pair of gloves when they saw that I was picking up litter, and that was really beautiful. I do want to say one more thing. There is a blighted house in my neighborhood. There's been some stuff happening there, and I am getting people to notice, acknowledge, and appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Mitchell, and who?
Adele, can you pronounce your last name for me? Hakasimana.
Hello, my name is Fidel Hakizimana. I am a student in GA, a partner with New American Pathways as a civic pathways leadership. We are here today to be as the advocacy. We are advocating for Claxon communities for their well-being. We have our small project to propose the city council. That small project is just to improve the traffic safety in city. We have the main intersection over here with Indian Creek and the Market Street. That intersection we took after read statistics data in Akawandi. More than 50% accident happen in the intersection. Now it caused a lot of problem for the communities. Where our research, we visit around the city, we said the missing. Now we have our proposal for improving that traffic. We saw that we have almost the intersection, we have traditionally traffic light. That's without the flashing light that allow the driver to turn a light and the left. Only we can go straight in there. There is no, the signal allow you to turn a left. Now they make always the driver make the hazardous turn. That's make that big issue for pedestrian, cyclists, and the driver. When we saw the missing, we propose to implement the smart signal flash. That's to regulate the timers for the turning. Now we know the driver, they know the time to go straight to make a turn. Another come from other side can wait. That signal.
Yeah, you know what? And I just want to make sure to say thank you to them. They are doing a program with American Pathways. And so, and I've actually gotten the information, given it to the city manager and to Mr. Kaiser, your information. So we do have it. I'm glad that you came in to talk about it today. So we can do the follow-up.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
We were waiting to get follow-up.
Mhm.
That's when I needed the program for this
Okay, all right, thank you. Clerk Mitchell,
Marty Wynn.
Good evening, council. My name is Marty Wynn. To the mayor and city council members. Probably what I'm going to ask or talk about is not really an issue, but we have a drainage problem in the neighborhood, and I see on the program tonight that you all are discussing stormwater utility service amendments. Article 5 of Chapter 19, the city code concerning the stormwater utility services. We've never had stormwater underground service in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood always ran above ground. We have 3 ports of stormwater drains, 2 on, as you come into the neighborhood, the old Smith Street, which is Patricia Davis Drive now, and 1 in the curve of Patricia Davis Drive that goes down the hill. All of the other drainage is above ground and it goes behind my house. And my neighbor, Mr. Willie, he used to sit on his porch all the time. And he told me they put the drain under Petitioner's building. And I said, no. So it really rained hard one day. So I got my little iPhone 6 out and I went and I looked, I got my umbrella because it was raining really, really hard. Really, the water would come under Petitions back into the back of my neighborhood. And it's like a river was coming down when it rains really, really hard. So I tried to tell somebody about this back in, it happened back in 2021. And I think all of the people now might have been retired or whatever. But I wanted to say, since this code is here and we've never had stormwater stormwater services, all of the water is above ground. Can we get the price taken off the property tax bill, please? Thank you.
thank you. Clerk Mitchell, who else do we have?
Carolyn Davis.
And as Carolyn comes up, do we have anybody else signed up after that? Jim? Okay.
Did I take up my 3 minutes?
Oh, yeah, you got your time. You got your time.
Hi. To the mayor, Mayor Byrd, Vice Mayor Johnson, City Manager Eddie.
Council, yeah.
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, but the city manager, I don't know your last name. Okay. Thank you. To all the city council members and Public Works, thank you very much for your diligence in renaming Smith Street to Patricia Davis Drive. The Clemsville community really appreciate you all. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And last person?
Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Thank you, City Council, Mr. Mayor, City Council. So good evening
So
So
state
very-
your name.
This is Mr. Dine Jimmy.
Okay.
So I'm the business owner for the Bravo Auto Service and Emission. So I very appreciate for the chief of police officer. They monitor every night. They're doing very, very good job. I very appreciate for that one, for the safety on Coxton. And also I'll try to discuss about it. Previous like 2020, 2010, you guys passed the law for the special condition use for the dealership. So that one I need to talk to the city manager in personal, so I have a lot of issue, discuss with her. So follow up, I just need to be clarified for that one. That's only I need for her, to sit down with her, talk to her personally.
Okay.
So that's I appreciate.
All right, thank you. Okay, with that, do we have anyone else? Is there anyone else in the audience that wants an opportunity to speak? Hearing none, the public comment section is closed. There's no old business. And if you notice, everything is on consent agenda, which means that there is no further deliberation. And I'm gonna see if Councilwoman
Get his attention.
Carol
Yeah, are
can
you
do
ready?
his award-winning without one breath.
Brief
Yeah.
point of order.
Yeah.
James, could we get some walk-up music?
Thanks.
Continue. Sorry, I just had to ask.
Councilman.
There
I
may
know.
need to be one breath. We'll see. We'll see. how it
Okay,
goes.
let's see if he can do it.
I motion to approve the consent agenda. A, to approve proclamation designating May as Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. B, to approve proclamation designating May as Jewish American Heritage. C, to approve requiring the city to have an opportunity to receive things electronically by January 1st, 2026 in line with Department Protocol. B, to approve issuing the call for election November 4th, 2025 general election. E, to approve an ordinance to amend chapter 2 of the city code between alcohol to allow beer or malt beverages containing 40% alcohol by volume. F, to approve the Department of Transportation 2025 local road city projects selection grant application submittal. G, to approve an ordinance to amend Article 5 of chapter 19 of the city code concerning stormwater utility service and then clarify certain definitions of create separate classes for natural residential loan, the purpose of fairly assessing the stormwater utility service fee. H, to approve an ordinance to amend fiscal year 2025 general fund budget appropriating the amounts and expenditure expenses amended, adopting items to read as amended, or prohibiting expenditures or expenses from the existing actual funding available for the purposes of 736 Boulevard, Suite 120, Circuit 31st, Predictive Services. I, to approve resolution claims support for preservation of federal tax exemption municipal funds. J, to ratify accepting the proposal from Georgia General Local Risk Management Association Agency Church Government to renew the property liability insurance term of 25-26 in the amount of $185,995.
Second.
He did that. So it has been properly moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items. And I'm not doing what he did. I'm just gonna say A through J. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, and just so you know, when it's consent, that means that we all are in agreement and we're just gonna say, okay. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Guess what's the next one? I need a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you, everyone, and happy Mother's Day.